Oh, Cal. Just couldn't resist coming to see the legend. Don't worry, everyone comes to see the song, the Robin Hood of Ayrshire. I robbed everyone, but saved the best bits for my family. My very big family! You see, I started out just robbing people, but then something happened. You see, I realized that, well, you can't get caught if you don't have a victim. And you can't have a victim when they are dissolving away in your stomach. Now, as you can see, I just finished a feast of 4 children and a widow. Now, let me tell you, it is true what they say. Children are just so much better roasted over a fire. Little bits of lamb, the meat just slides from the bone. Do you know one thing that no one likes to talk about when it comes to eating people? What? Well, it's that it's good for you. Think about it! The protein, the minerals, the metallic taste, differs from person to person. You see, the old and the drunk, it is rich, sweet. The beggars and the homeless are more like bitter coins. What do we have left? Soldiers. Soldiers are more earthy, tangy. Delicious. So, nourishment at the end of the day. And if it wasn't such a big moral issue, everyone would be doing it. I just had the balls too. Cheers. Now, look at all of you lovely people. Oh, absolutely delicious. Especially you. I bet you taste like cherry wine now, don't you? Now, can anyone here tell me the best way to preserve the human body? That? I didn't think so. Well, like any other meat, the best way is salty and clean. You will all be very impressed to know that my family and I multiplied to over 45 and lived for over 20 years alone on human flesh in our seaside caves. And what a cave it was! The smell was just... the smell of home. 20 years of blood and bone. We used to decorate the cave walls with teeth. And the kids would run around playing with the ears. And the toes. And in our dining hall, we had a massive dining table stained deep brown with blood and piss. A table to say grace. Fit for the entire family. You know, it's paradise. It's just no better feeling than skinning a man alive to provide for your family. You see, I used to break rock for a living before I realized I could break bones. Real one with my own 2 hands. And then he said unto them, turn their rivers to blood so that they shall not drink of their streams. And that is what we did. I know. No one lied. life jobs. Plus, you are self-sufficient. The workforce of modern-day farmers all pulling in the harvest, and now is the season right for picking. As families struggle to feed and eat, we thrive. A husband there, a milk boy here. We are not okay. And no need to worry about money when they pay us in blood. And believe you me, that is precisely what they did. Before you all start breathing, this was a business of survival. Do you really think there's any of those families that I devoured would have given a toss about my family? Not a chance! See, this was a time of abject poverty and disease. To think of it, you could say that we were doing them a favour and saving them from a lifetime of excruciating pain and suffering. And giving them a nice, strong place to stay. And a purpose. But then finally, the day came. You see, the family and I went to harvest a young couple from the local fair. We dragged her from her horse and we slipped her from neck to navel. You should have seen the look on Bell's face. It was priceless. White as a sheet, he went. But it was in that moment that he just slipped away from my grasp. Galloped away his horse was vomiting. It was later on that night, as we were sitting down to a lovely stew that his good lady made for us, that he returned with a squadron of soldiers. Now, he must have watched us return to our cave, the little whelp. The first two soldiers that entered the cave, well, they collapsed at the sight. Two weak-bellied men. One of them was sick. The other one brought in his dogs, and they were all... But it was in that moment that all 48 members of my family ran at them. It was a sight to behold. They bit a man's neck, and I ripped out his throat. See no one. No one messes with my family. One held a feast too, but sadly more came. Around 6 years old, weapons firing, Christ. You know how they say that family is the most important thing? Well, that is true. My family will always be with me. Even in here.
What have you done? Where are your cellmates? Your family? Somebody get in here! Come on! He's eating his family!
My last meal.
You, visitors, get out of there, quick! To the next room! Go! Go! Leave now!
Beware long lichen who lives among the gorse. Beware the moss, beware the moors. Beware long lichen. Be sure the doors are bolted well, lest Lankin should creep in. Those were the last words Robert said to me before he left the city that day. We moved to the countryside to bring up our child. I thought the fresh air would be good. Robert said he didn't mind the time away and travel so long as Charlotte had fields to play. But he was never at home, leaving me and the baby alone in this freezing, horrible house in the middle of nowhere. You'll have a maid, he said, to keep you company while I'm away, to help you with the child. Only if I'd known I'd feel so alone, I would never have agreed. I'd forever curse myself on it, and him, for leaving us alone that day. The last time I ever saw him. And the first time I saw him. The long lanky. He was a man of sorts. Maybe once he was, but that does not describe what I saw that day. The blood, oh! It was a cold day, and the wind blew in through the hills and through these weedy marshes. Charlotte was only 6 months old and tucked in for the night, when I noticed a strange smell coming in. A horrible, rotten, age-old smell. Oh, just remembering it. I made sure Charlotte was safe. The window was shut. And I went to find Mary, our maid. I told her not to open the windows or a door to a soul. And together we went to seek out the source of that smell. But to no avail. Long Lankin was said to lurk in the moors and marshes on cold autumn nights like that one, like this one. He was said to be a tall, thin man with white, watery skin stretched thin over his long bones. He was said to be so thin that he could slip and slither through the smallest of gaps in windows and doors. I didn't believe in such things. But Mary, she told us the tale when we arrived, and Robert, well, he was just fascinated by it. When we trusted the house was secure, we waited in Charlotte's room for Robert's arrival. I couldn't sleep when he was away, and Mary, although dull company, kept vigil with me by Charlotte's cot. And there we waited. And there we waited. And waited and waited. Hours must have passed and I must have fallen asleep. Because I was suddenly awakened by a slow, unmistakable scratching sound coming from the door in the hallway. The scratching, it got louder and louder until it turned into bangs! And it stopped. And a voice. It sounded like a demon. Low and hollow. Where is the master of the house? It said. Away to Glasgow, Mary replied. Just then I saw her by the door. Where is the lady of the house? I willed Mary not to speak. Just then I saw her eyes, milk white, as though possessed. Where is the baby of the house? I ran to Mary and tried to cover her mouth, but the words, they slipped free. In her cradle, Mary said. I ran to Charlotte. The voice. We will pinch her and prick her and stop her with a pin, and you shall hold the basin for the blood to drip in. I held Charlotte so tight in my arms she began to cry. Mary started walking towards us, arms wide, milky white eyes. She grabbed the child from me and sent me flying across the room. I came to moments later. And there was a trail of blood. Out through the room. And out through the hallway. I followed it. Down the hallway. Down the stairs. Until I heard a scream like no other. From the kitchen, I could hear heavy breathing and slow scratching sound. It took all my strength to turn around the corner. And I didn't. I saw him. The long Lankin. He was no man at all. He was a tall, thin demon. His fingers were like knives covered in blood. His black pupilled eyes glared at me. A horrible, toothless black mouth grinned at me. Beside him were Mary and Charlotte in pools of blood. Mary's apron was shreds. Charlotte's blanket was just ribbons. He started walking towards me, towering over me, murmuring, I'll pinch you and prick you and stab you with a pin, and I shall hold the basin for the blood to run in. And he stabbed me! His fingers tore through my flesh like knives through butter, over and over and over.
fearing after? Ah, go all with you. You've had all my tales. Well, maybe not all. You know about the Burnies and the Bogles, and you know well enough to poke a hole in your eggshell so as the witches can't use them to sink ships. And about elf-shot cattle that sicken and dinna thrive when a witch puts a spell on them. But I've one tale left that you've no heard. Pull up a wee stool in, and mind you didn't stop me killing these satties. When I was a wee lassie, was I slipping off to do my own thing, or threeping at the old folks to tell me a story? Aye, just like you now, although I flatter myself no as old as the Ians were. But this time I've been caught, and told to clear out the old threshing barn. It was a real stoury place, full of spiders, so I wasn't best pleased, and I didn't attack over much time with my task. I carried out all the sticks and the stockies to the midden at the back of the ears, and swept a bit of stouring out over the threshold. This still left a ween of trash tray for the house at the far end, so I amused myself by looking through it. Most it was trashed, a luggy that had tint its chain, a yoke wi' a muckle crack in it, twa bits of a bowl and my sister brack on the hearth. There was one thing that caught my een, a muckle great cauldron, fat and blackened with fire. It had unco marks around the rim, and seemed to grow in size afore my very een. The air around me grew dirksome, I shivered in the sudden cold. I ran out the barn, screaming of bogles and lang-legged beasties. The others all gathered round, and stared at me what the matter was, but not even never minded seeing the cauldron afore, all but the oldest old Jim, who nodded and minded a tale she'd heard as a wee lassie, just like I was. All in one minded the plough was making his way home through the smiddy, and the road took him past the old kirk at Alloway. It was an eerie place then, as it is now, with hillocks and sick-like craters, and well kent as a place of ferlies and unco downs. The neck was murk, the rain was plashing and spattering down, and the wind howling among the trees. As he drew close to the kirk, he noticed a brick glow glimmering in the old stains, and his thoughts turned to witches, and the very deal itself what was said to sit in state in the ruins. Now there are two thoughts as to why he did what he did next. One has it that the Almighty above gave him courage. Another has it that he'd gone co fu at the smiddy. For whatsoever reason, he took aye step towards the kirk, and another, and arrived at the windy afore he knew his own feet were down. An eerie glow came through a fire made up in the middle of the ruins. The place was empty. He heard a softened noise behind him, and turned to see dark shapes of men and women standing in the field by the kirk. Ein by ein each pull up a stalk of their agwar and mutter some word or words he didn't catch, and ein by ein each rose into the sky with shouts and skirls. The ploughboy was left alone. The flames through the fire still danced though, so he looked up through the window and dropped down into the empty kirk. Atop the fire, he saw a muckle cauldron, black as pitch. The contents seethed and juked. Heads of bairns no yet blessed by a minister, lang banes of those hanged on a gibbet, and other foulsome things. He seized the side of the cauldron and rocked it back and forth, making the foul liquid spill over the lip. He poured the contents out onto the hearth and unhooked the jinking chain. Empty now, the cauldron didn't seem so heavy. So he raised it o'er his head against the rain and took it home, which stayed in his family down through the years to this day. And the others all laughed and clapped the brandy over the tail and slipped a wall back to Fincan fireside. But I was still feared, so I speared at Granny to go with me to the barn and see the muckle cauldron for herself. She hurtled o'er the yard and in at the barn. The corner was still dark and full of shadows. A wee mousey ran out over the stains, but she paid it no mind. The cauldron sat there, glowering at us. "Don's but a gay good porridge kettle," Granny said, and seized it by the handle to rock in the crook of her arm. And she scoured it, and she rinsed it, and she set it on the hearth, and she cooked her sermons in it in the morn. And afore you ask, she didn't dee till some years after that, and ne'er took ill afore her last, so mayhap it was but a tale. And the cauldron, you ask? Well, what do you think I was peeling tatties into?
Be careful what you listen to with that one. She'll drip, drip, drip poison into your ears, your brain'll be twisted, and afore you know it, you'll be in league with old Satan himself. Oh, she may look all mild and sweet and draw you in with her charm, but don't be fooled. Do not be enticed, enchanted, entranced, or you too might meet an end most undesirable. Come, come. Come see how the light in my office reveals all. Sets ablaze the manipulative ways for all to see and smell as they burn to dust, as Maggie Osborne did as she turned to ashes at Ayer's Malt Cross. I looked into her eye and I saw old Mahoon himself. What an actress! Whimpering. Oh, I am but a woman. They all say that. Oh, my head is busted with fever. Oh, you're mistaken. I cured those illnesses with natural remedies. Liar! Maggie Osborne, you are not a woman. You are a witch. Women like her are a danger to our community, to everything we hold dear. She who spits out the Holy Communion at the church door, she must be punished. God himself has told me. He shows me how he works through these hands. These hands. The things they've done. The miracles they've achieved. If only I could show you how I've obtained confessions through lips that speak most unadvisedly. These hands are my real tools, finest instruments, an extension from God himself. I am God himself. I see all. I know all. And I hunt all. One of the most notorious witches in Ayr died at these hands. Maggie Osborne. She who erected a house in one night with the help of the devil. That's a confession from her own lips. Maggie Osborne. She who took a grudge against a poor family and engulfed their house with snow. Oh. I extracted that confession after 3 days of sleep deprivation. Oh, I awakened the witch in her. Maggie Osborne, well versed in spells but unable to utter a single word when I placed her head in the branks. The branks. Oh, the scold's bridle. It's the most beautiful invention. An iron cage secured over the head with a padlock and a piece placed in the mouth to stop the tongue from wagging wicked lies. Maggie Osborne. She who held her female form as I crushed her feet in the boots. Maggie Osborne. Unable to control her imps in the weather when I placed thumb screws into her hands. Should I heard her cackle as I extracted the truth with these hands? Now you might think me cruel and overzealous, but as with all trades, mine requires the finest tools. It's important work I do, and it's not for the weak-willed. I mean, those witches, they'll twist and lie and whimper and whine, and deny, but I always extract the truth. Maggie's confession came a bit slower than most. That witch tried to tell me that she would take death over affirmation of her sins, but I could see the lies slide from her mouth. Felt them with these hands. Knowing the truth was coming, when I heard it, a calmness washed over me. Some people say that I'm the saviour of the town, but well, it's my duty. I do it for the greater good, for God. I mean, the gift He's given me, I can reveal the devil's servant for all to see and judge. So don't worry, and do not weep for that witch that burned at the stake. Your cattle will no longer be cursed. Your ale will no longer turn sour, and your young men will no longer be enchanted. You will no longer be charmed and cheated by that witch Maggie Osborne, who took flight over the Carrick Hills into Galloway. Gone is the earth that she scorched as she landed, silenced her mutterings, scattered her ashes into the current of the River Aire, so that that wicked soul will never rise again. Witches cannot cross running water, and that is what protects us from their evil. Her punishment is a warning to all those that would bring evil into this world. The devil will not save you. The only ones that will are me, and people like me, who test for these witches and warlocks everywhere in our midst. Maggie Osborne, she of stone skin that would not bleed when I pricked her with this needle the night that she was captured. She has paid for her crimes. I wonder if you would bleed if I pricked you with my needle. I mean, they're all around us. Witches, warlocks, satanic, shape-shifting servants of Satan. I think I will test you. I mean, venturing out here on a night like this to a haunted house, it does strike me as you having some very odd characteristics. And far be it from me to let evil leave this room when I have you so firmly in my grasp. I'll tell you what, through that door there is a bridge over running water. If you can cross it, you may leave. But if you can't, I'll see you back here for more tests.